Hi everybody and welcome along. Right, so what this is, it's a two-part video. First off, I'm going to show you where I'm at with the high new head, and then we're going to go over onto the big table and I'm going to show you some things that I've been buying again recently. Okay then, let's get stuck in. Alright then, so a little bit closer you can see that I've completed all the bottom half. Now this was a complete pain in the arse compared to the head, and that was compounded by the fact that all the LEDs had to be placed in and all the wires had to be soldered up. There was no real wiring diagram, so I had to do a bit winging it a bit and what have you, but I seem to have pulled it off. That's the cap there, sorry, hands are in the way. If I can get it out, which I can't because my fingers are slippy. There you go. Right, by the way, that sorry, I should get it there. That was all masked up and painted with some hazard stripes just to give it a bit of a variation. So on it goes. You can see, you probably can't see the blue lights at the bottom. The LEDs in the eyes and that are done now. Well, there were anyway, but everything's, and there's your battery compartment, which is snugly tucked away there. So you got your battery there and your switch. So I'll put these back. Actually, I'll put that one back so I can see a bit better. Right, this weekend coming up, which will be Sunday the 13th, there is a local model show to me, and it's hosted by Sutton Coldfield Model Makers. Last year it was at the Ramada Hotel in Sutton Coldfield, but this year it's a bit closer to where I live. It's in Walsall Wood, and yeah, it's just round the corner from where I work really, which is super handy. And there's a fellow YouTuber joining me there, OPN, Alt Painting Nerd, Sean. He's fairly local, he's from Birmingham and I'm from the Midlands, and I asked him whether he'd like to join me and he says yeah, why not. So we're going to have a Sunday morning there, and he asked me whether or not I was going to be entering anything into their competition. Well, first off, I'm not exactly sure what the rules are concerning the entries to the competition, whether you have to be a member of the IPMS or not. I am still a member of the IPMS. It's just that Sean said he was thinking about entering something, and I said, first off, why don't you email the club secretary, perhaps he could shed some light on whether or not you need to be a member. So, and another downside to that is you're there all day. Once your entry has been placed on the table, you then leave it alone, and it's usually at the end of the day that all the prizes are given out and stuff like that, which can be a bit of an added embuggerance. The fact that you might just want to go along, get some paints, some thinners, have a look at the models, have a look at the displays, have a look at the competition area, and you're basically done, and then you can just saunter off. But I'll see, I don't know where it goes, but what I need to do on this now is just like the base section. Now that is going to be a walk in the park compared to this middle section. The amount of work that went into that was unreal, absolutely unreal. You can see underneath as well. You can just about see those blue lights, and obviously the one around the back, and the camera just above the V-fin. Oh, talking of the V-fin, almost a disaster. It was such a pain in the arse to solder these parts together. You have to basically have a semi-assembled kit around and about with all wires hanging out of all the parts. The head, these parts on the side, the switch mechanism, the battery tray, and I've got a hot soldering iron, and then before I know it, I can smell burning plastic, and I've touched the V-fin there, which is... So it's already been painted and stuff, but yeah, I touched it and I was livid, and the wife was going, what's the matter? I said, oh no, I've melted my V-fin. I said, well, why don't you just sand it down and repaint it and stop being a big baby? So I've sanded it down and it's perfect. I haven't yet repainted it, but yeah, that was a disaster avoided by my wife's level headedness, so that's brilliant. Okay then, so like I said, what's left to do on this is the bottom part. There was loads of masking on this. When it is complete, I will go into more detail about it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull away, I'm going to go over to the large table, and I'm going to show you some things that I've had. Okay then, thank you for joining me on the big table. I'm in the dining room, by the way, that's where I do all my work. So the first thing I brought, I've been wanting this for quite a while, and it's quite hard to pick up now for a decent price. And yeah, so here it is. I brought myself Space Hulk. It's a Warhammer 40k universe-based game. The good thing about this though, it's not doesn't need loads of rules and measuring and lots of dice and stuff like that. It's excuse me. It also came with the battle phone, which is charming, and yeah, you've got all your tiles and your rule books, your counters, your doorways. It had everything in there. I played a couple of games with my nephew on a rainy Sunday afternoon, which is perfect for. I've never really played anything 40k before, but I really enjoy it because yeah, it's really simple. You can have a go at the Gene Stealers, the Marines, swap ends, and see how you do. But yeah, it's great. And if you were to buy it off eBay, I've seen it everywhere from £80 up to £200, depending on where you get it from. The actual the thing that's costing the money are these figures, because these are a sculpt specifically for this game. That's the Gene Stealers and the Marines, you know, they're specifically for this game and people want them. I'm glad I've got them, but the only downside is the guy who got this off, he didn't know anything about modelling, didn't really know much about gaming. He got them off the sprue without any nippers, hasn't sanded them down, put them together with super glue, so there's hazing everywhere. But it's a small price to pay, and it was a small price to pay because I got this for £40. Bargain. So that's the first thing I've got my sticky little hands on. I have enjoyed it, and I will play it, and I will be keeping it because it was, I think this is the 2014 edition. The last one they brought out was 2009, and the two times before that it was in the 90s. So it is hard to get hold of, and like I said, I'm glad I've got it. Okay then, the next thing I got myself was this, and this is the Motor King Ashtray red frame bust. So obviously I've had a bit of a blast, should I say, with the high new bust. But like I mentioned before, that was a recast of a resin kit in plastic. So it had all the problems of a resin kit magnified with the problems of a plastic kit. Bring them together and you've got just an added embuggerance. It was just a pain in the bum. What put this on my radar, a few months back I was on Gundam Kit Collections, and there was a forum post on there about this, and there was some CAD drawings and there was some 3D rendered artwork, and I thought that would be really nice if and when it comes out. And I thought nothing of it, and do my rounds as usual on YouTube. I was actually searching for inspiration for the high new Gundam head, and there was a gentleman on there who did an unboxing of one of these, and as soon as I found it was out, literally I opened another window, and before the video had finished I found it on eBay and I'd purchased it, and I think this came in at around £40. You know, it wasn't a massive bargain, but still a third party kit, and it's something I like, you know. So what do you get? You get your instruction manual, obviously big plastic parts, and what differs immediately between these parts and the parts that I've got there is detail, and it's got it in spades, you know. In that part there, there's lots and lots of detail. Let's flip it over. I'm not doing a proper unboxing, by the way, I'm just having a browse over this. Zero flash so far, which is great. It was just unbelievable amounts of flash. Your decal sheet, it is multicoloured. Your clear parts, which are so much clearer. These are domes, these are, that fit over the cockpit. That's another thing as well. This has a cockpit underneath the head, whereas underneath that head there you've got more framework and more mechanics, and it just doesn't seem right when I've seen other busts and other head models, and directly sitting underneath is the cockpit. But anyway, these parts here, great detail, great masking potential. It looks super crisp. It does look super nice. hopefully it'll go together like an absolute dream. But look at the side, you know, some, excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, so, and even the detail, I don't know if it's going to focus in on there, but the detail in these parts is just tremendous. It's a really great looking kit, and you get some light metal aluminium for the inners of the pistons. You get some spring like you did on that one there, but the real bonus is the LEDs are already soldered, the switch is in place, the battery tray is in place. All you have to do is follow the instructions, fit them in, and presto, you're away. It's nowhere near the amount of faff that I had to do with that one. So anyway, let's put this away and move on to the last thing. I don't even know whether you want to see it or not. I'm not 100% sure whether it'll be up your alley or not. I don't really know. But anyway, shall I show it? Yeah, shall I? That's it. It's the Mechanicals store. I had to have it. The Penelope, as people are calling it. Right. One of the reasons why I got this. Oh, you can see my face. Wrong side. One of the reasons why I got this a few years ago. Ealing Mechanical, they brought out their Ashtray, and I really wanted it. I'd only just got into Gunpla, and before I know it, everywhere it wasn't around. And I said to myself, you know, the next time they come up with something like that, I'm having it. The one before this, I didn't fancy it though. I didn't quite fancy it. It just is, even though it was a big kit, it just didn't have that mass and the presence like the Ashtray has with the binders coming off and etc. And I thought, you know, that would make a really nice looking piece. Now, like I said, I wasn't really bothered about this predecessor, but as soon as I saw this one with the extra, and especially these wings here, I don't know what it is, it just looks so nice. It's so nice. You know, I'm not going to do an unboxing. If you want to see a good unboxing of this, get yourself over to the Gunpla Dave over there, and he does a great unboxing. He knows his onions when it comes to things like this, and it's well worth a watch. But initially, yeah, it just looks great. I've had a good look inside the box, and I haven't taken anything out of the wrappers yet, but as you can see, it's just so well presented. It's really nice. It was 170 quid. Yeah, what can I say? It was what it was. I didn't get it from Samuel Decal. I got it direct from eBay. Now, I should really, if I thought about it, got it off Samuel Decal, because the decals that come with this, because this is a third-party kit or bootleg kit, whatever you want to call it these days, instead of having Space Force, it has Spacey Force, UNT Spacey. But anyway, you know, they're only decals, and I did get in touch with Samuel Decal via Facebook earlier on. I say earlier on he returned my message saying no. They are not being sold separately, which is a crying shame. I think it's so you have exclusivity, and he's going to sell the kits, and and as a bonus you'll get the decals. But you know, these decals are fine decals. They look really nice, and there's even the small writing you can read really crisply. Now, I've seen some Bandai decals that, you know, it's very blurred, but these are great. You know, you've got the photo etch parts, not as much as the kit before this, the MAS 15. Now, another thing as well, you'll see these are camouflage water slide decals. Now, yeah, there's a fair few of those. As you can see, there's an instruction manual. Now, obviously, I'm thinking to myself, you'd have to paint, you'd have to apply these decals, just the camouflage, make sure that they're sealed over with another gloss varnish, then apply your other decals, or these over the top. And yeah, I didn't buy it for these extra decals, by the way. I brought it because it is what it is. This is a limited edition kit, and I am number 2155 out of 2200. So, you know, they were going like hotcakes. The guy that I brought it off on eBay, there was one already sold. I brought the second one, and by the time I'd looked to see where the tracking, my tracking was, and I think he had about 2 left. So, you know, they were flying off the shelves, so to speak. This actually took how long to get here? hardly any time at all. Consider I brought a Sazabi a couple of years ago from Hobbied in Japan, and that took an absolute age to get here. And I did a bit of a take the piss video about how it went around the houses. I got the globe out and stuff, and I did an unboxing with that. So that's basically me in a nutshell. I knew Gundam head, very nearly done. I got me some new toys to play with eventually, yeah, I'm going to the model show this weekend. Catching up with all painting nerds for the first time. I'm really looking forward to that. And after the High New Gundam head, I'll actually be starting on the High New Gundam Verkai, and that will be one of 3 entries that I've got for the Telford IPMS show this year. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you really soon.